I'm Jordy.
And I am Steven.
And this is Thorndale Theater Talk. This is a podcast where we're going to be talking about movies, TV shows, and anything in the entertainment industry.
That is correct. And that is correct.
You looked a little confused when you were saying that it was correct.
I'm always confused.
It's a good start. So remember to follow us on Instagram at Steven Centrella, on Twitter at Thorndale Talk, our official Twitter page, at Kibbles312 and at Steven Centrella, and also our Facebook page, Thorndale Theater Talk, and our YouTube channel, Thorndale Theater Talk, to like, subscribe, comment. It's a quick, easy click of the button to subscribe and just tell us what you want to hear, what you like, what you dislike. Very easy. Would be much appreciated. Appreciated.
All that fun jazz.
All that fun jazz.
Yes.
And remember to listen to our 68 other episodes on podcast streaming services like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Breaker.
That is correct. Or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wherever you listen to your podcast, we're on it.
That is true.
Yep.
All right. Let's get right to it, Steve. What was your movie of the week?
Mine was Charlie Says. It's on Netflix. It's got a good cast behind it with Hannah Murray and Matt Smith. So basically it's about Charlie Manson and kind of like his cult and his following of the girls who he kind of brainwashed. So basically the movie starts off with the three girls who again were part of the murders with him. And you see just how brainwashed they are. And then you see like the flashbacks of what they went through with being with Charlie Manson and just seeing how the lifestyle was and see how they were brainwashed. It was very interesting. Again, the overall, like the movie, like the critics, like it's gotten low reviews, but I really liked it just because, again, it's based on true story. A lot of it's facts. A lot of it's like what actually happened. So I'm more intrigued. Like, my attention was there the whole time, and I thought it was very interesting because like the shit did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very intense. It's very like crazy, but yeah, the man was a psycho, like true psycho. Like, so it was interesting. It was a good movie. I definitely enjoyed it. But like I said, when you watch it, it's cringy. Like
That's the whole point.
Yeah, because like again, stuff that actually happens. Like all this went down, so it's like, yeah. It happened.
It happened.
But I did like it, like I said. So I would say more biased just because the reasons why I liked it. Because again, I like more true stories. So yeah. I would recommend it, but at the same time, keep in mind, it's not for everybody. So it's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. So that was my movie of the week. You can watch it on the Flicks of Net. Keep that in mind, the Flicks of Net. You can watch this movie. It's very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Jordy, what was your movie of the week? Why was your movie of the week? How was your movie of the week?
My movie of the week was the new HBO Max movie directed by Steven Soderbergh called No Sudden Move with
how was it?
Don Cheadle, Brendan Fraser, Benicio del Toro, and then Matt Damon had a little small cameo in it. I thought it was okay. The acting was great. The story there were some boring parts. It's a noir film. It's about like these people. I don't know what years it was in, but these people like I think they're like hitmen who got like a job to do and to steal something, and then it turns out to be this whole big thing, bigger than like anyone ever thought, and all these like shenanigans happen, and it was okay. It's hard to be intrigued in some of the plot lines when it's the whole like the first 45 minutes was really intriguing. I liked it a lot, and then it got like, okay, we have to make this into a movie, so it kind of drags a little bit in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, it wasn't for me. It got solid reviews, but it was okay. I mean, if you have nothing to watch, definitely watch on HBO Max. The acting's great. Don Cheadle's phenomenal. everyone's really good in it. Yeah. Even Brendan Fraser, who hasn't been in anything in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. It's really cool. It's okay for me, but I can see why people would like it. And I mean, that's my review. That's my review.
That's my review. Solid review.
I know. Oh my god, I was intrigued.
Basically, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, that was one of the best reviews I've ever had.
Well,
so
I'm not gonna watch it. You didn't sell it to me.
Yeah, no.
You didn't sell it to me. I'm sorry.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
So if you like noir films, you might like it.
I do like noir films. So the fact that they made a noir film in this day of age, I'll watch it.
All right, Steve-O, what's your movie of the week for this week?
My movie this week is going to be The Crimson Peak. It's an older movie. It came out in 2015. It's a movie I honestly didn't even know about, but it's got a very nice cast to it. Tom Hiddleston, Jessica Chastain, Charlie Hunnam. Yes, I did say it right. Yes. Yeah. All right. But yeah, it's got a solid cast behind it, and it's on Netflix. It's a kind of a...
You know who's directed by? Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro directed it, yeah. So, great director, and it's got solid reviews. Basically, it's a kind of a supernatural / period piece. So, takes place in the very olden days, and a little supernatural stuff going on.
Monsters and stuff. Oh, it's Guillermo del Toro to a T. So
I'm excited. It's gonna be interesting. It's like I said, you can watch it on the Netflix.
Netflix of net.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna be watching this week. I'm excited. I got a great cast, great director. I'm in shock that I've never heard of this movie before. So I'm ready to jackknife off the diving board. Ready for it. What's your movie of the week? Why is your movie of the week?
You're gonna jackknife off the diving board?
Yeah. Never heard that saying?
No, I have. Just haven't heard it in a long time.
Yeah.
So, what's my movie of the week and why it's my movie of the week?
Yeah.
My movie of the week is a movie that came out. I'm gonna do a little, I don't know why I don't watch a lot of movies like older movies, but this is from 1979.
Wow.
Dustin Hoffman movie called Straight Time.
Nice.
It's on Amazon Prime. You would have to rent it, but I think it's like $1.80 or something.
Not bad.
Because it was from 1979.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. And it's about this criminal, I think, that gets out of prison and then tries to, acclimate back into the life of a big city.
Okay.
That's all I know about it. It's supposed to be really good. It got a 7.4 on IMDb. I didn't want to watch a trailer or anything. I just have heard good things. So
you're in jack off. You're in jack dive.
I'm not going to jack off.
You're going to jack dive off the diving board. There we go.
Yes. Oh, I'm not going to jack off the diving board.
You're going to jack dive off the diving board.
Yeah, I'm excited though.
Yeah,
you said jack off. So I heard Dustin Hoffman's really good in it. I'm pretty excited. So
there you go.
All right, Steve-O, let's just get down to the brass tacks. I've been waiting to talk about this.
Last episode of Loki. It was very intense.
Yeah.
Very intense.
Let's wait. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. 1 Mississippi.
2
Mississippi.
All right. This might be one of my favorite seasons in any show that I've watched.
I think this is, for sure, let's just say this is the best
Marvel
series.
Hands down.
Hands down. Between the
WandaVision,
Falcon and Winter Soldier. So this is the third one that came out, and I think out of all the series, this one is the best. I think every episode was great.
So good.
Even the worst episode
was still intriguing.
It was intriguing. So it was a lot of more dialogue. That third episode was mostly just dialogue, but it was intriguing. You were learning, so it's So this show did not.
I want to rewatch this show. It just came in with the punches.
It did not skip a beat, and also just the characters were so developed. Well,
Owen Wilson's awesome. He brought I feel like that Mobius character is perfect for him because then he just brought Owen Wilsonness. He just brings They basically probably said just be yourself a little bit.
Yeah, just be yourself. That's all you have to do.
Just be a little bit of yourself.
That's all.
And it was just perfect for him. And all right, let's talk about it. Jonathan Majors, first of all, unreal. That performance was so good.
I did not see that.
That was the thing that I think I mentioned in the last episode. It was like I read into something that I hope wasn't a spoiler, and this was the spoiler where they said that he was supposed to be like in a Loki, which kind of sucked. Yeah. But that I knew. But so he was so good in it.
He was
as like the variant of Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, and just that his character was so good because like. He's like on your side, but not on your side. Like it's just so like.
I think he's supposed to. He's good though. Like his intent. He recognizes that what he did is like very deceiving. He said like, "What of my actions are pretty deceiving." Like, it was so good. And then where he like stopped talking, goes like, "Now I don't know what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, this."
That moment, because I was just like, because he says, I know where everything's in that moment. He was like, yeah, now I don't know.
Yeah, because he's like, you hear that, and then like everyone's just quiet, and he's like looking around. He's like, I don't know what's gonna happen now.
Like that whole like scene, that whole dialogue between.
Oh, his monologue is so good.
It was so good, and it was just like, I didn't even know what was gonna happen. I'm watching it, I'm just like, what is going on?
And I loved that. Like it kind of the whole story plays into Loki's character perfectly because it's all about trust and like lying and deceiveness, and that's literally the whole show was like that.
Yeah.
Like Jonathan Majors at the end, and he's like, I don't know if I believe. Like it's just, it was so perfectly written for like Loki's character.
Also,
and now he's like pretty developed. Like he learned so much from this, and like.
Well, also just basically the whole ending too. Like I don't even.
Oh, where Sylvie kills Jonathan Majors and then like, pushes him into the timeline, but it's not the straight timeline. He went to the different timeline where Kang the Conqueror is. And then the fact that you go to Owen Wilson, he's like telling him, he's like, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to like restart that whole. Eventually, you don't have to.
I know. I don't know how that's going to tie in. I don't like that he's in a different timeline, so then there's two different stories and different timelines, so I hope they interweave well, which... At this point, I trust Marvel. I'm not gonna lie.
Complicated
I know.
Too. It's just.
I trust Marvel. I think they'll know what they'll try to make it as like perfectly understood as possible. But man, that episode, that whole Jonathan Majors monologue was so good.
In general, the whole series.
So good, and this was the climax ending we wanted, and especially with that cliffhanger where it's like, and you see the statue of King the Conqueror, and it just ends, and you're just like, oh my god.
So like with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, they ended on like a way where you don't know if there's going to be a season 2. But I
love that they said like season 2 will come.
Will come.
They definitely knew they had something really special here.
Exactly.
Because I feel like going into like the Loki show, his character is so unique, but like not just unique. It's Tom Hiddleston plays it unbelievably.
He does.
He plays his character. There's no one else that I could see that would play Loki better.
Yeah. I just saw something on Loki, like again based on his character. So I think it was in the first Thor movie. He said a line saying, "I never wanted the throne. I just wanted to be your equal." And pretty much in this show, he did the same thing. He never wanted the throne. He just like when he's fighting with Sylvie. Like she kept saying, like, you just want the throne.
And he actually didn't want it this time.
He
wanted to be with her.
Yeah. And so that's what like blows my mind. Like his character is actually like very.
What I'm also interested
very
is
good
that
and complex. Like
all those characters. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, but like he's very good and complex. Because,
I know he's so complex.
He always acts like he wants the throne, but then there's
because he
deep down he actually doesn't. I think he just wants to be your equal. And
Tom Hiddleston's
he can to be your equal.
And his acting makes it so much better, so much more believable. This show makes me so pumped, and I want more Marvel, which is funny because then we've had so much in this period of time. You would think you want a break, but after that, I'm like, I want more.
Yeah.
I mean, the next one's I still have to see Black Widow, which I know it's like it's standalone movie, but you told me at the end there's like ending credits has something to do with it. I'm gonna watch it eventually, obviously, but then the next one is the 10 Rings one, which comes out in September, I think.
Eternals come out before?
No, Eternals is November.
Oh, okay.
And then Spider-Man's December, which I'm sure everyone's been pumped for that trailer because everyone's like, is Tobey Maguire going to be in it?
Yeah. I don't even know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to I don't know either.
So.
I think they might because everyone just talks about it and maybe for fan, like...
Well, again, I have a theory because, again, with Loki, you can have this theory. So there are different universes, different timelines.
Yeah, no, that's why Toby could be in it. That's
Toby
why
and Andrew Garfield could be in it because they're both Spider-Man.
And there was rumors that Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin in it. Yeah. That's gonna be like they're just gonna have cameos. It's not like a big thing.
It could be cameos, or it could be an actual story where like multiple universes and then kind of a thing.
I think they're doing that too because didn't Sony not want to do in the MCU or something like that? They couldn't come up with a deal. Remember they didn't, and then they brought back and they're like, "Oh, we're doing." Was it 1 or 2 movies? It was one of them.
I think it was like one, but like they made some deal actually.
Yeah, and
then
they
confirmed some.
And I feel like this alternate universe is making like Sony be able to do their own thing with all that Spider-Man stuff. So, which kind of sucks because I want them to be in this MCU, but maybe they're in the MCU. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
But damn, that's one of my favorite seasons I've seen in a show.
Yep, I would have to agree.
I'll say it.
All right,
let's get to the news, Steve-O.
We're gonna get to the news. Where do we get our news from?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
ScreenRant.com.
Thank you. Jesus, man. Jesus.
What? I'm so excited.
We get it from ScreenRant.com. You heard it right here. So the first 2 articles, while we're still on the topic
of Loki,
we're just gonna keep it going. So Tom Hiddleston's Loki reportedly will return in Doctor Strange 2. So after the Loki multi-universe breaking season, especially with the finale, it has been announced that Tom Hiddleston will reportedly appear in Doctor Strange 2 as Loki. So this is going to be very interesting, this Doctor Strange 2, because I know Wanda's character is going to be in it.
Yep.
And now we have Loki, Tom Hiddleston's character.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Kang is going to be in it too.
I would assume so. But I think just, again, I think Doctor Strange, I think Spider-Man and Spider-Man Far From Home and then Doctor Strange 2, I think those are going to be
Doctor Strange 2 is supposed to be the big culminant, big thing.
I think both of them, because Doctor Strange is supposed to be in Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming what I'm thinking of how it's gonna be is Spider-Man's Infinity War and then Endgame, not in the sense of the ending of the phases, but in the fact of big culmination.
I'll lower it. One of them Civil War, and then the other one's
what?
The other one could be Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I know you're trying to do a Civil War.
Yeah.
But it's the 2 big ones where everyone's I'm not saying it's the end of the phase.
Where they're crossing multiple Civil War, because it's supposed to be Captain America, but they cross so many of the characters into the one movie. Right. So that's what we're gonna see with those 2 movies.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange. Is it still Doctor Strange supposed to be a horror film?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is kind of cool.
Which is cool.
And I've said this many times. Don't like horror, but totally would be willing to see it.
Yeah. I was the movie I'm going to be watching this week, The Crimson Peak. That's technically a horror. You may want to watch that.
Well, because there's monsters and stuff. Guillermo del Toro does it in a way where it's not really a horror though.
But it could be scary. Who knows?
The movie that you had saw one week, Hereditary. I would see it, but I need people to see it with me.
You need people, so hold your hand.
Yeah, I'm a pussy.
So
let's keep going.
Going on again. Still continuing on Loki. Again, more news just keeps happening with Loki. So Loki for season 2. The director, Kate Herron.
I'm gonna guess.
Herron. She will not be returning to direct season 2. So this will. We'll see what happens. Let's see who they get to replace her.
Yeah, I wonder if it's still gonna be with the TVA. We don't know where the world's gonna be then. So.
Exactly. We don't know what season 2 of Loki will bring. Because we don't know if it's gonna happen right after Doctor Strange 2. We don't know we don't know what's gonna come up next. So don't know the timeline, because the timeline is multiple timelines going on. We don't know. We just don't know. So yeah. So it's sad to see that she's not returning, but again, at the same time, I trust the MCU.
Yeah, I trust it, but no.
They'll find somebody.
Loki was so good.
Yeah, they'll find somebody to do just as good. All right, next piece of news. So, Quiet Place Part 2 is now streaming on Paramount Plus. So you go on, if you haven't seen it yet and you have Paramount Plus, you could hop on Paramount Plus, watch it at home.
Highly recommend it.
I highly recommend the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I
highly recommend watching it.
I highly recommend watching it for sure. So it's so good. Especially if you haven't seen the first one's on Paramount Plus too. So if you haven't seen
they're both neck and neck. They both are like so good. I might even put 2 a little bit over 1. I might. It's close. Whatever. They're like neck and neck.
It is neck and neck.
I can go back and like, yeah.
Yeah. So, I would say if you haven't seen it, go home, get quiet, turn down the lights, watch Quiet Place Part 2.
I mean, you don't need to be quiet, but you should. We're in a podcast. I have to talk.
Yeah. So.
Don't shush me.
Next piece of news. Indiana Jones 5 casts Antonio Banderas in a mystery role. So Indiana Jones just keeps adding more actors while they're doing this whole filming. And so Matt Nicholson was casted in a mysterious role. And now Antonio Banderas is casted in a mysterious role.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
James Mangold can't be worse than the 4th one. So.
We'll see what happens.
I have faith in James Mangold. Not saying I didn't have faith in Spielberg, but I feel like that one was kind of forcefully made. Spielberg kind of has to step back and be like, I needed someone else's vision to go into this.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Again, I like how they're just adding cast member to be like, it's a mysterious role.
Well, they're not going to, like, I don't know.
Just say if he's a villain or not. Like,
I like how movies, like, kind of keep it
close to the chest.
Yeah, they should.
They should. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Alright, next piece of news. Jordy, you can take this one.
Kristen Bell's casted in Amazon's People We Hate at the Wedding comedy.
Yes.
So the movie's literally called The People We Hate at the Wedding.
Yes. Well, it's not a movie, it's a show, I believe.
Oh. An upcoming reunion comedy adds Kristen Bell to its cast. Kristen Bell is going to be starring alongside Ben Platt, who was in the Pitch Perfect, and Allison Janney, who's been in a lot of things. She was in I, Tonya. She was in other stuff that I can't remember. Yeah.
The show, West Wing.
Yeah.
She's
a great actress.
A lot of things. You know
so
who she is.
I don't know anything more about this, but I mean, Kristen Bell. I know Kristen Bell and Allison Janney, both great actresses. We'll see.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Amazon coming out with some good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And other news.
Oh, I forgot we have this.
Yes, Icarly reboot renewed for a season 2. So this past it was a few weeks ago, the Icarly reboot for Paramount Plus came out, and it did so well that they got approved for season dose.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them. I have not watched the show yet.
I probably won't watch the show.
Yes, so well, good for them.
Good for them.
I hear it's geared towards more adults now. It's not a kid show.
Same.
But I'll get around to it maybe eventually. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And in other Paramount news.
Nice.
Yes, thank you. Avatar: The Last Airbender will be leaving Netflix and will be streaming on Paramount Plus now. So it has not given the timetable yet of when it's coming off Netflix, but The Last Airbender and The Legends of Korra will be coming off Netflix and will be hitting Paramount Plus. Because Paramount Plus is either part of Nickelodeon or
Nickelodeon is
Yeah, so they're owned by each other.
It's kind of like with The Office, like when NBC started their streaming services, then like the NBC stuff on Netflix slowly, just as soon as the contract ended, go there. It's the same thing with this for Paramount Plus for Nickelodeon shows.
Exactly. See, I think with that, like stuff like that will hurt Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong.
But then it gets more annoying for people who are like, shit, I don't want to have like 8 streaming service payments. You're going to be paying like $50 for like so many. Like I'm probably never going to get Paramount Plus. Not even because I don't want to watch any of the stuff. It's because I have like 3 or 4 already.
We're in the new age of the streaming wars.
Yeah.
So there's so many streaming sites that you choose from. There's so much content out there with it too. But this is where I think it will hurt, because Netflix does have good originals, but I don't think they're good enough to to keep Netflix, on its own without any other fun shows to watch.
Yeah, but then that's why they get new things.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like Stranger Things is still coming out with the new season still. And
we'll see what happens. Stranger Things, I actually looked up. That new season won't come out till April of 2022. So we got a while.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
Thank you, COVID.
Yep.
That was sarcasm, just for people who didn't know.
Yes.
All right, go.
All right. So as we talked about in many previous episodes, they were doing lots of Tiger King shows, spin-offs. One is currently in the works at Peacock. One was definitely in the works at either it was ABC or actual NBC network, and Amazon was working on one too with Nicolas Cage. So Amazon Tiger King project starring Nicolas Cage has been officially canceled. Wasn't filmed yet, but yeah, they scrapped the project and said forget about it.
Forget about it.
And I will say this, out of all these Tiger King shows that they're doing, this one I would have been more excited about actually, because I think Nicolas Cage could play a great
100%.
Great, yeah. Joe Exotic.
I would laugh my ass off if this happened and he'd get an Emmy.
Well, that's what I think. I honestly think this was a role made for Nicolas Cage, and it's actually kind of upset that this one got canceled, but oh well, there's too many as it is.
Yeah, there's way too many.
Too many. I get one show. I love it because it's a show based off a documentary show. So
we already know what happens.
Yeah, exactly. You already
and
know
it was
happens.
Recent. It wasn't
exactly.
A documentary that came out in the 80s or something.
I love when they do this though. It's it's a show based on a documentary that was based on a show that was originally a movie.
It's a money grabber.
I just love the whole Inception intertwine. Yeah. All right. Last article. Here we go. C-3PO and R2-D2 will reportedly appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that Ewan McGregor coming back to reprise. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
There we go. His role as Obi-Wan Kenobi, that will be on Disney Plus. So the characters C-3PO and R2-D2 will be involved in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because with the new Star Wars movies, was C-3PO in the new ones?
Yep.
He was?
Yep.
R2-D2 didn't really have a major role in it.
No, but he was also in it, though.
He was also in it, just not a major role.
Yeah.
It was all BB-8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Creating the new R2-D2 for the new generation.
Yeah, too bad. We don't have to get into it, but...
Yeah. That's nice. They bring back the classic characters.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And that completes all the news, and that completes this episode of Thorndale Theater Talk. Jordy.
Yeah? Oh, this is where we end it?
This is where you give your spiel.
I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
Come on.
Remember to follow us on Instagram at Steven Centrella, on Twitter at Thorndale Talk, our official Twitter page at Kibbles312 and at Steven Centrella, our Facebook page, Thorndale Theater Talk, and our YouTube channel, Thorndale Theater Talk, to see Steve-O's beautiful face.
I actually shaved.
Beautiful face.
I actually shaved. No beard.
No beard. Just
No
a 5
beard.
o'clock shadow.
I did shave, though.
You did? You feel good?
It already grew back.
And remember to listen to us every Tuesday on podcast streaming services like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Breaker. We'll see you next week.